If you've never tried an authentic laksa curry before, today you're in for an absolute treat because I don't do anything by halves. There's no store-bought paste. 98% of everything I use, I grow myself, I catch it myself, I cook it myself. There's nothing more rewarding. Let's get into it.
Lobster Laksa. How good is that?
I'm going to add
just take a look at that. Clear, calm and flat. The viz is looking not a breath of wind. Head out in the boat today, see if we can get another, stock the fridge with some seafood, some lobsters and some fish. I think we're going to have a good day. Another day, another dive, sitting up, ready to go. Jump in the drink, see if we can take home some dinner for tonight. And we're in. Oh, clear as.
Oh man, I love this. Crystal clear water, big lobsters. Life just doesn't get any better.
Do that same, give that same method a go again. Just made his arse end hung out in the cave like that, and I just grabbed that.
Didn't take us long today, about 10 minutes, and we had our bag limit.
Just take our time with these ones. I don't think they can go anywhere, we should get them. There's about 2 or 3 good ones in there, and there's another good one around this side I spot them too.
It was just incredible. The day was panning out to be one of those days you just dream about to go diving. And what we found next was just awesome. A car sitting at the bottom of the ocean. It had obviously been there a long time in about 15 metres of water. I am literally stumped how this car got here. There is no roads, there's no track, there's no pathway, there's bush for as far back as the eye can see. I can only put it down, it must have fallen off the back of a boat. We had some fun, took some happy snaps. It was pretty cool to see. And of course, as soon as you lower your guard for 2 seconds in the water, something's bound to happen. So while we've been mucking around with this car, in comes a school of bonito. So I quickly grab my gun, take a dive and line up for the shot.
got one? Alright. Me first one, man. Well, they got a bit of kick for a little fish.
Such a beautiful looking fish in the water too.
You do them sashimi, can't you? Yeah. Sweet.
So I was really happy with this. It was my first bonito and I was really keen to try it. We both also ended up with a nice brim which we had on our float line, which an eagle just decided he wanted to take. The day was just getting crazier.
Is your brim floating on the surface? That's what it spotted. Mate.
We decided to check out one more spot before we called it a day, and it just happened to have half a dozen grey nurse sharks. Of course, a few more happy shots, a couple of selfies were definitely in order. So it was time for us to leave. There was a storm rolling in and not even the clouds let us down today. They put a show on for us as we're heading home.
You know what, overall it was a bloody good day out. It was just a bit of a hell of a ride on the way out today. But got a couple of really good lobsters, got a really nice little brim and a bonito. I haven't had a bonito before.
Like always though, I have something pretty special planned for these crays. I can't wait.
Can we get it? What is it? What is it? What is it? Ski! What is it?
Okay, so you're going to have to stay with me on this one. I've got to keep moving. There's a lot involved. There's a ton of ingredients. And if I drag this out too long, the video's going to go for an hour. Anyway, let's get into the paste. Here we got my galangal. Okay, you can see I've just dug down here into the soil. You've got all the young new shoots of galangal. They're going to be a lot more tender. Oh. So we're going to get one of those out. Oh, it's such nice stuff, galangal. It's beautiful. This one here is fresh garlic, so I'll pull some of that out shortly. Lemongrass, one of my favourites. So just going to give you a quick look at all the ingredients that go into a laksa. Fried shallots, coriander seeds, shrimp paste, candle nuts, ginger, turmeric, lemongrass, lemon limes, lychees, garlic, turmeric powder, bit of coconut, dried chilies, fresh chilies, kaffir lime, fresh galangal, shallots, some noodles, fish sauce. Oh, it's going to be good. Keto, we've got some dried shrimp, which we're just going to soak. Handful. I'm just going to let that soak for half hour. Coriander seeds. 2 tablespoons of coriander seeds. I'm just going to lightly toast them till I can smell the fragrance, then they're going in the grinder. First we're going to add about 2 spoons of coriander seeds. Okay, so I spared you the long process of chopping everything up. I'll just talk you through it as I start adding everything. I'm going to add 2 shallots, or a good handful, garlic, another good handful, ginger, the same. I'm going to add some dried chilies, which I've had soaking in water. I'm just going to put 3 or 4 of those in because they got a bit of whack. Fresh turmeric, another good handful. Now we're going to put our dried shrimp, which has been soaking. Good couple pinches of that. Belacan, this is shrimp paste. Super stinky. This stuff just reeks, but the flavour it gives is unbelievable. So I'm going to put about 1/2 to 3/4 of one of those in and make this myself. Turmeric powder, maybe a good teaspoon of that. Our galangal, which we'd chopped up. These are candle nuts. They're supposed to make it go a bit creamy. 2 or 3 of those in. Our lemongrass. Love the lemongrass. One of the most phenomenal things is coriander roots. These are coriander roots. I've just chopped them all up, diced them fine. Unbelievable flavour out of that. You got your kaffir lime peels. We're just going to put some of this liquid in here to help it whiz up. And a really good spoon of chili paste. I love chili paste. Wow, I know you can't smell it, but trust me, that is a flavour bomb. What we're going to do next is a lobster stock, which is going to be the base of our laksa. So what I've got here is prawn shells, which I had a few weeks ago, which I froze. I always keep them, they make great stock. And I'm throwing the lobster shells in too. With both of these, the stock's going to be amazing. Now we're going to whack all our lobster shells in. This is where the flavour starts. Making the stock. With the stock, we're going to add it to our laksa. All our shells, our prawns and our lobster has cooked through, turned all nice and orange. Now we're going to add about 1.5 litres of water. We're going to let that simmer away for about half an hour to an hour, and then we're going to strain it. That's going to make our stock. That is going to be delicious. Lobster, just going to dice it into quite big chunks into our bowl. So we're just going to strain our stock. Just have a go at that lobster prawn stock. The amount of flavour that is in that is just unbelievable. Next we're going to fry our laksa paste for 5 or 6 minutes till it goes fragrant. A little bit more chili paste because I love it. Oh, this stuff. This is where we're going to add our stock, our lobster stock, to our curry paste. 5 or 6 cups should do it. I'm then going to add a couple of pieces of chicken breast. This is going to add extra flavour. We're just going to give that about 10 or 15 minutes to cook through, and then we're going to feather it. Once it's cooked, we're going to remove it, feather it, and add it at the end. Going to add a can of coconut milk and cream, make it nice and creamy. Oh, smells like a Fijian holiday. We're going to bring it back to the boil. Oh, look at that. That's looking good. Oh. Now we're just going to add a good handful of coriander stems. I'm going to add some fried tofu puffs. These things are great. These fried tofu, they are the absolute best. They're like little pillows and they're just going to soak up that curry sauce and flavour. Also going to add some of our chicken back in. Now the 2 most important ingredients I think is palm sugar and fish sauce. This is what's going to balance the entire curry out as far as I'm concerned. You just keep adding a little bit at a time till you get that correct balance between the sweet and the salt, and it is superb. Your palm sugar. Now we're just going to add, for a bit of colour, some capsicum, half a dozen cherry tomatoes. Now what I'm doing here is I'm putting the lobster into this smaller bowl just to cook it
so I don't lose it in that big bowl. This way it can just sit in here for about 3 minutes and just cook through just gently. Okay, so everything's ready. Time to plate up. We've got some rice noodles in our bowl. Next, we're going to add a little bit of our chicken, and one of the absolute most incredible things you've ever tasted is lychees. If you haven't tasted a lychee, you need to go try them. These things are unbelievable. Sweet as. I'm going to put about 3 of those in. It just never gets old making laksa. That golden colour, the fragrance, the oil that sits on the top of the broth, the creamy texture, just beautiful. And over this amazing broth, 3 or 4 pieces of tofu in there, a bit of capsicum, a little cherry tomato, some broth, over our noodles. We're just going to put a little pile of bean sprouts in the corner, just for a bit of crispness. Then we're going to put it what it's all about. Nice big pile of lobster chunks on the top. Now another thing I absolutely love is these fried shallots. I'm going to give it a sprinkle of fried shallot, another layer of flavour, a little bit of chilli, last but not least, a little bit of coriander, just to top it off, with a nice old lime wedge. There we go.
And there you have my authentic lobster laksa. How good does that look? Oh my god. Get into it. Give that one a go.
So if you like what you see, give it a like and leave me a comment. I honestly enjoy taking the time to respond to anyone who's left a comment. I'm Drew from Man Alive. I'll catch you on the next one. Ciao.